G'day fellas, and welcome back to FFA Nomad. It's been some time, but I tell you what, it is the season for it. Now, of course, it's the season for a couple of other things. We'll get into that as well, but of course, we have to tell you right now, it is FFA time. I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what the meta looks like, because I'll be honest with you, it's been a while since I've dabbled my feet in FFA, but you may or may not have heard, there's a bit of a tournament coming up soon. I'm talking about Red Bull Wallalol, baby. No, I'm talking about the FFA tournament, Outback Octagon, of course. Number 3, it's happening. So we'll get into that a little bit more. We'll get into Outback or to Red Bull Wallalol as well, but of course we'll get into this game. Let's introduce our players today. In the 12 o'clock position in the color yellow, playing as the Byzantines, we've got Kaiko. To his south, in the color purple, playing as the Order of the Dragon, we've got Xavier X. To his south, in the color red, playing as the Chinese, we've got Belai. Belai. In the east of the map, in the color green, playing as the Chinese. Also, we've got Vandalen. There we go. We got it. Vandalen. And just to his east, a little bit on the south side, we've got, in the color teal, playing as the Ayyubids, Shadyamad. Is it Shadyamad or is it Shady Emad? I think it might be Shady Emad. In the south of the map, in the color pink, playing as the Holy Roman Empire. Definitely going to have my eyes on him. We've got our good friend number 6. I don't know. I've got no idea what his name is. And a little bit further south of him, in the very south of the map, in the color blue, playing as the English, we've got Yuri Z. Could also be Yuras. And with arguably the best spawn in the game, in the color orange, playing as the English, we've got Bio Lucas Kuna. That's quite a bit of a name. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FFA. It is, of course, the season of FFA back upon us. There's going to be plenty of FFA content coming your way over the next couple of months. So make sure, if you're interested in that, well, keep an eye out for it, because there will be plenty of it. Get that king inside the town center, please. But, yeah, so coming up this weekend, we've got the Red Bull Wallalol. Now, I'm not going to be going over there, but we will have some representation. So KP, Killer Pigeon, will be over there. I don't know who's going to be doing the cast with him. I would suspect it's probably Nilly that's going to be doing it. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be KP over there, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Looking forward to watching KP on the big screen. And so that'll be this weekend. And then the weekend after that is when Outback Octagon begins. And that's when the real fun starts, because we are going to get into some silly shenanigans. Of course, the FFA madness has still been going for quite some time, but you know, it's a little bit different when there's money on the line. I think that's always the case. But let's talk a little bit about this game and about where we're at the moment, because if I had to pick a favorite, I'd have to say it has to be Bio right now. Like, this is such a great spawn. He's got water. He's got his own private pond. This is everything that you could ever dream of. The other thing to note is it's not a huge pond, which is kind of good, right? Because it says, hey, you have to at least think about making a land economy. The only thing I'm concerned about is that if he sits too far away in this corner and just chills out, which you can definitely do, he may not pick up any kills. And it's really important in FFA that you get a blend going. Basically, you want to be getting kills, but at the same time, you want to be booming. So we've seen a couple of different shifts in the meta. For anyone who doesn't know what the meta is, that's essentially what you can reasonably expect a person to do in a given situation. So in the effort, just give me a sec, I gotta clear my throat here. All right, we're back. And for anybody wondering, yes, I did get better. And yes, I am now sick again. It never stops, dude. Oh my lord, it never stops. It's okay, it's all right. It's there last week. But anyway, we'll be okay. Oh, we've already had an elimination. Okay, fair enough. Teal gets eliminated. He was over here on the east side of the map. King standing out on the edge here. Mr. Al-Aziz. The question's going to be who finds it. Because Vandalen's pretty close here. I'm going to try and play with some key bindings. Oops, I've messed up. Let's try this one. There we go. So, I think Vandalen may have known about Shady's spawn. And there's a... Oh, we could have a scout going down. No scout manages to live. But there's a good chance he could send out a couple of villagers. I'd at least like to see just like a couple of villagers build some walls out there, or just one villager. Because you never know, man. I remember that one game that I played. I was playing an FFA, and somebody near me died, and I went and looked for his king. I couldn't find the king at all. I searched it. Oh, that was the game I played with Salami. I shouldn't say played with, because it makes it sound like we willingly entered the lobby together. We didn't. I didn't know it was him, and he probably didn't know it was me either. We've all got our Chinese names to remain anonymous to all the snipers. But yeah, it was a game where like the king was in this really difficult to see spot. He was like right up in here. I couldn't see it, but there was a guy who was in my lobby who was map hacking, and he could see it. And anyway, he killed the king. So it's always one of those things where you want to try and locate the king and then at least try and get a bit of security on it. Now, keep in mind, this is not the new patch. For anybody who's playing along at home, there is a new patch that's going to be coming to Age of Empires 4 very, very soon. And can we just talk about how damn big this lake is? Oh my lord, that's a lot of fish. If you manage to secure this lake, you are in a great position. Never going to have to make farms. Speaking of which, we've also got a Byzantine player on the water. So that's going to be a whole bunch of olive oil coming through. That is very, very nice right now for Kaiko. Yeah, so we've got a new patch coming in. Now, with regard to the new patch actually drops the second week of Outback Octagon. I'm excited for that. I'm kind of tempted to ask the devs if we can get access to it a little bit early, just so we can play all of the games on the new patch. But, you know, at the same time, I'm just kind of like, you know, it can always be a little bit tough doing that kind of thing. And, you know, are the mods going to work? All those questions. Actually, that's a good point. I should probably think about that, you know, because if they drop the patch on a Friday and we got to play on Saturday, we got to make sure that the mods are all good to go. Because we got some new adjustments this year. You might... Oh, that's painful. That's a painful loss right there for our Chinese friend. So one of the changes that I've proposed, I don't know whether this is going to go through, but essentially we're going to be reducing the speed of the transport ship. You guys will know the transport ship. You'll be familiar with its shenanigans. So we'll be reducing it to a very, very slow crawl, Mr. Transport Ship. Interestingly, this monarch remains outside the town center. I don't know what the idea is here behind this. I will also just mention that this is a high-level game. We've got 2 players in this lobby that I know of not personally, I don't know them. I'm not friends, don't go to the barbecue with them on the weekend, but I know who they are. And that is obviously XaverX. We've watched him before play FFA. Very, very good player, very competent player. I think he's top 10 FFA. And then in the south side of the map, we've got Yuri Z, who is also a top 10 FFA player. So I'm expecting we're probably going to see these 2 guys rise. As I said, we've also got Bio in the corner here, who's got an amazing spawn to start us off here. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the progress happens. Age-up's coming through, and it seems decent timing so far from Belai. Okay, it looks like the king did indeed go inside. I wonder what that meme was all about. Yuri's now reaching the feudal age. Going to be going up with the Abbey of Kings, looking to pick up that free king. And, of course, we've got very, very close spawn here. This is... Oh, this is really painful right now. Yuri's going to be losing out that scout. King's also going to get out there. He's going to get his little dagger. He doesn't actually have a dagger. He's got no attack. He's basic. What does he have? If he doesn't have a dagger, he'd have to have something in his hands. He's probably got like a triangle. You guys... come on, how many of you guys were triangle players back at school? I'll be honest, we didn't have the triangle. We had the recorder. That's what you could play, and you could also play the keyboard. And all the kids that were wealthy got to play the keyboard, and all the kids that weren't wealthy had to play the recorder. Anyway, if you want to hear Titanic on the recorder, I don't know how to play it, but I do know how to play Hot Cross Buns. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross bun. Anyway, you guys get the picture. I'm just kidding. Anyone want to hear For Elise? Nah. I'm trying to think of like what's there's a really cool waltz that I remember learning growing up. that turned from like comedically funny to comedically terrible. I apologize. I'm from a single parent household. We were not wealthy, so I had to beg for dinner. I'm just kidding. All right, this is going to be a cursed cast. I've officially called it here. This is going to be a cursed cast. If you don't know what that means that this is a cast that's going to go off the rails. We're going to say things that we probably shouldn't say here, and that's okay because this is a safe space for people like me because, well, this is our channel. Anyway, let's get into it. So already demo ships coming through. Looks like Vandalin is going to be looking for blood early on. Not going to be able to find too much of it, though, as he just goes into the fishing boats instead. Very nice decision making there. We can see that they've got docks next to each other on this top side of the map. And keep in mind that towards his north, he's going to have a second person. See, this is the problem with water, right? It's like, why do you bother fighting people on water? Like, you know, Xaver, we could have just all been happy and chilled out, but you had to go and pick a fight over here. To be fair, I don't know if maybe it was Vandalin that actually started the fight. I really don't know. I wasn't paying attention. That galley. Oh my, mate, you just send it back home. Why are you bringing the galley back out here? Big demo. Dude, look at that demo. That demo is ludicrous, man. I didn't realize they did that much damage. We got a third person in the fight. The drone mon's coming out, looking to steam down, looking to fire down. All of those castle age going to be coming through. It's going to be for our Chinese friend. With the Regnitz Cathedral, let's do a quick relic check. I got one on the south side. I got one on the south side. I got one in the middle, one in the middle, two in the middle, two in the middle. Second one located in the middle. It's currently got some walls on it. Third one in the north. Fourth one, fifth one in the north. We've got 4 in total, 5, 6 in the north, and 7 in the north. I can't do it. I did see this funny video on the internet. There's this you know, you get those crazy, I shouldn't say crazy people. You know, you get those people that like will, I guess you could say like protest. There was a woman protesting. Well, okay, we got ourselves, there it is. Yuri's coming in with a little bit of a sniperoo. Now, let's take a look and see from Yuri's perspective. Oops, there we go. So he wasn't technically castle age, but I guess he just did the math and said, well, hold on, I've scouted where this guy was. If no one else is going to take the kill, then I'll happily go take the kill. And that's what he did. But yeah, I remember this, there was this woman and she went into like a political arena. That's probably not the best term for it. She went into like we would call it like a parliament house or like a senate or a house of representatives. That's what we call it in Australia. And she started complaining. I think she was complaining about Donald Trump. Maybe she was complaining about the treatment of Donald Trump. Either way. And anyway, the guy behind, it must have been a representative. He in a past life had been an auctioneer. And he just started auctioning off, I think it was a phone. Just like pretend, just to drown her out. And oh my lord, it was just amazing. I'm not going to link the video, but just Google it, like auctioneer, lady, funny, silly, Trump. There you go. Those are your keywords right there. If you can't find it with that, I will give you your money back. I'm telling you right now because, dude, look at this. Amazing commitment right there. 3 drone mons for a dock. You know, was it worth it? And in the end, it's Vandalin who just picks up the kill on the Hulk. You know, what? Why? In the end, Xaver X has been the one that's forced off the water here. I mean, he's still got technically a dock, 2 docks down here, but Xaver, you've invested your entire early game, and now you're getting attacked by horsemen. Yeah, this is one of those games where you just got to tap it out. Meanwhile, like towards the south, like Yuri's just going crazy. He's already picked up that 1 free king kill, which is so damn nice. You know, it always feels so good getting that first king. Oh, excuse me. Oh, a little bit of a burp. Oh, you know what I was meant to do? I bought 2 cases of Red Bull. I went to Costco with my wife a little bit earlier today, and I put 1 underneath, and then I put 1 case on top, and she only saw the case on top. She's like, I can't believe you're getting that much Red Bull. I said, yeah, you know, Outback Octagon's coming up. We got Wallalol next weekend. I can't be drinking Monster Energy when it's Wallalol. She's like, fine, but just the 1. I was like, okay. Anyway, we get to the checkout, and she's like, I'm going to go grab the new double chunk cookie. And I was like, okay, you go grab it. And then it went straight through. Didn't see anything, didn't do anything. I mean, to be fair, at Costco, they don't even like pull it out, but I think they'd scan it, wouldn't they? Anyway, that's my story on the Great Red Bull heist. It wasn't really a heist. It was, look at this. This is so sad. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's only occurring right now because of the time we've invested onto water. And so this is part of the reason why, especially in Outback Octagon, you see this, where players will actually say to each other, like, hey, peace on water. When you get a game where it's peace on water, man, I tell you what, it feels so much better than fighting it out on water. Fortunately, right here, it looks like, it is Hippodrome. I was going to say it looks like it's Berry Landmark. It is Hippodrome. He does have the ability to go into Triumph, but it looks like it has been used recently. So all of his horsemen are going to go down. So I guess for the majority of that, what's the Vil count? Can we just check right now? Oh, 26. And he's in the middle, and he's gone great. Minework into Burgrave. There's only one way that he can actually win this game, and it's a really sad way. Basically, he needs to go into... Actually, I don't know if Xaver X can win this game now. Everybody's too far ahead. Like, as an example, if you look at Yuri, Yuri's on 66 vils, and he's on 3 TC. And he's going Castle Age, right? Like, he's scaling really well. So, essentially, he wants to go Imperial, I think, at this point. Excuse me. He wants to go Imperial, but he needs to also pick up kills. And so you've got the Burgrave here, which is great for picking up kills, but you've got no economy to support it. You've just lost all your vils here. You've lost all your fishing economy. The one thing you could hope is that these two guys do fight it out on water a little bit, and just please stop making any fishing boats and anything out here. Just leave it alone, mate. Maybe hope that these two fight it out on water, and then you can just manage. I think ideally you'd probably want to snipe out Yellow first because he's behind you, because he's got no one else to attack, right? Like, he's only going to be coming to attack you. This is worrying, though. You know, I mentioned earlier the one thing I'd be concerned about for Bio is if he just sits in the corner and does nothing. One thing to note that while he is sitting in the corner, he's not doing nothing. He's making knights, which is exactly what you want to be doing. The other thing to note is he didn't go into a second town center. He's only got 1 TC, which is not good for the scaling of economies. And sure, he's got water, but water is one of those things where it's like, once you've got it, it just sits there, right? You're not really scaling with it. And it's only ever going to be, you know, that 20, 25 fishing boats that you actually make. And arms number starting to rise down here for Yuri. And so far, not a whole lot of action between the two Chinese guys in the middle of the map. We can see Castle Ages are starting to come through. Both of them going to be opting for the astronomical clock tower. No real surprises right there. Though we do have a 2 TC song coming through for our red player, compared to our green player, who was just kind of, you know what he was doing? He was fighting on water. That's the problem with water. And see, this is the thing. I often talk about this. Hold on, give me a second. I'm just going to take a swig of my drink. Okay, so, that's water, by the way. I was planning on doing a double drink tonight. I was going to have Red Bull, and I was also going to have my water. What was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. I remember this Lenok playing against the Mongols on Mongolian Heights. And he would just go 3 town centers. Song Dynasty, boom. And I'm like, what are you doing, Lenok? He's like, well, there's no point in playing water. Water just slows me down. It's like, what are you talking about? And it's like, look at this. Like, who would you rather be right now? 2 TC Song Dynasty Chinese going crazy in the Castle Age, or 1 TC Chinese Song Dynasty not going crazy in the Castle Age? Now, granted, you invested a lot into water and you lost water, and sure, you'd be doing a lot damn well better if you didn't have such a poor performance up there, but I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like if you just neglect it and just let it go and just do this, you'd be fine. A big part of it was the second TC. Oh my god, he's already gone into Yuan Dynasty belay here. Let's right on board with him. Hold on, there we go. We missed him. He's actually spotted out where all the enemy positions are. So you can see on the minimap, he knows where everybody is, knows where all the villages are. So don't be concerned if you think, oh, he's map hacking, he's finding all the vills. No, 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 he's got the landmark, don't worry. Excuse me. Oh my lord, I still got that little cough. There's the Imperial Age coming through. It's going to be the Berkshire. So very nice safe defense here. Though these landmarks are very closely put together. That always makes me a little bit scared. But let's check in on that north side of the map and see how Xaver's doing. Keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, Xaver is quite a good player. So to get out of this position, I mean, you could also probably drop the second town center down potentially, but even then, I don't know how he gets back into it. Where are the knights at? There were a whole bunch of orange knights. Have I missed them? Have they gone to attack somebody, or are they hiding in a keep somewhere? They've got to have gone to attack someone, right? Am I gonna miss it? Red Knights around here. We're chilling. Has he got like a couple of transport ships with all the knights? Was it Ja Rule who asked where the hood at? I'm about to ask where the knights at because I've got no idea. Oh, there they are. He's only got a handful of them. I thought there would be more than that. All right, well, we got ourselves a little bit of a fight happening down here. King about to go down, unfortunately. Good news is that's not the Monarch. He's safely inside the White Tower. Meanwhile, these numbers are looking pretty fearsome. How many relics did we end up picking up? One. Never mind. He obviously didn't pick up enough relics. King is out. 1, 2, 3 relics inside the keep. I don't know why he just didn't go imp. You could have easily gone imp. Just camped it like... What is he going to do against a couple of outposts with cannon emplacements? King goes down. Can probably pick up some relics here as well. Outposts are building. Do we have monastery? So now he's got 2 kills. Oh, this is a problem. This is a big problem. Yuri's is getting big. He's getting scary. And there it is. There's the Swabia. But You know, it's just too little too late. JoJo said it best in 2004 with her hit single. You and I know the rest. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, it looks like we may have more and more aggression. Oh my lord, he's putting the Great Wall Gatehouse down. You know, when the gatehouse goes down, the game is over very soon after. At least for one player. I suspect this may be the green player. Nesta B's also rolling out off the blocks there. Meanwhile, towards the south, Yuri's just chilling out for the moment. He's definitely the favorite as we head into this sort of mid-game moment, 20 minutes into the game. Age Up now comes through. It's online, the Nesta B's from the Great Wall Gatehouse. I tell you what, man, I'm still struggling with this little cough. You know, when I was in the Philippines, I was there for, what was it, 7 weeks or something like that. It didn't get sick once, and I completely didn't realize until like the 6th week when my mum asked, like, "Oh, how are the boys? Are they healthy?" I'm like, "Holy shit! I just realized like they've not been sick. I've not been sick. No one's been sick. It's been amazing." And I gotta wonder how much the cold weather contributes to it. Like, obviously we know it contributes a lot, but it feels like it's a significant amount. Either that, or it's just like children running around in daycare also is a big contributing factor. Maybe it's just like, you know, there's the perfect storm. It's the classic case of, you know, the low pressure system and the high pressure system coming together to form the balanced pressure system. But that system wasn't balanced. In fact, it was imbalanced, and it created the monstrosity that we're about to see. Speaking of Nesta B, speaking of monstrosity, these guys in the next patch, they're barely even getting nerfed. They're getting like a slight little range adjustment. I mean, to be fair, they don't get chemistry anymore, so that's kind of a nerf as well. But I think their power spike is still 100%. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see China become quite a castle age civilization just because of that change for the Nesta Bs. The fact that you don't get chemistry anymore means that, you know, they're kind of peaking in the castle age. But you know who's not peaking in the castle age right now? It's Bio. Bio is absolutely peaking in the Imperial Age. He's having a great time. Vils have escaped to the north. 66 Vils. I don't know what the plan is with these guys. Maybe to gather up a little bit of stone if you're lucky. Also brought a couple of Imperial officials, but he is overwhelmed by the Elite Knight. So I'm just going to remark on the prowess of Bio right now because he has absolutely played this pixel perfect. My only critique would be, hey man, can you add a second town center? That's it. That's literally my only critique of him. Other than that, I feel like he's played it absolutely perfectly. 110 Vils. A lot of that's going to be water, but we're going to be slowly transitioning out of that anyway. Meanwhile, to the south, stone walls are going to start coming up. We got the Great Wall Gatehouse continuing to fire off. Meanwhile, towards that top side, you can see how hard and how fast Xaverex is fighting, looking to try and keep that king alive, that single monarch alive. You can see him inside that town center. He's going to be the last man standing, as unfortunately the Byzantine siege is rolling in. The Kairos Font slowly but steadily sieging down. That town center Ville's going to pop out, look to try and take it down. They will be able to find it, but you know the problem that he's got. There's just people everywhere looking for it. Oh, have a look at this. You know what? If I saw this coming to attack me, I'd be so happy, man. Like, I've literally got full knights. What do you even do? I think you just kill all of it. Never mind. There we go. Okay, in the end, it was Kaiko who got Xaverex. Apologies for missing it, but there was no real contest here. Next contest probably going to be over towards this east side of the map. Stone walls are coming up. Keep that in mind. Bio is slowly walling. But there's a part of me that feels like this could just be a bit of a throwaway army here from Yuri. Is he working on something secret? Something special behind this? Keep in mind, when it comes to Imperial Age, he is up. He did go for the Berkshire. It's in the back of the base, and he's got enough space to wall it as well. He does get spotted. The trader's going to spot this one out now, so Bio is aware. Expect to see all the cavalry now brought back. He is trading towards the middle of the map. He's actually heading to the north. Town center. Where's the king? King is in a different castle. Is he running the king? Hold on, where's the king? Oh, there's the king. Oh, king was in there the whole time. What was I looking at? King about to go down. Now we've got 2 horses in this race. Oh, hold on. There could only be 1 horse in this race in a short second. Hey, Bio, just real quick here, brother. You've got a huge army on your doorstep. Would you, A, like to respond to it, or B, ignore it? Let's see what he answers. All right. Still rallying units to the middle. Still idling out the knights on the top side. Knights moving towards the green player. Bio looks to the minimap. He says, I wonder if there's anything on the minimap that will attract... Oh, no! There's an army at my doorstep. What is going on here? Vils aren't going to be able to get that wall up in time. The wall goes down. Did you see that, dude? It was literally like the wall completed and then just immediately died. Berkshire gonna have its time to shine. Randy's here. Randy's here. Get him, Randy. 2 of them in the back. Oh, you love to see it, Randy. I tell you what, man. How good would kill counters be? Could you imagine if we had kill counters on units? Dude, you'd just see some Reboldiquins with like 3 kills and then they die. And then there was that one hero Reboldiquin in that one game that had 486 kills. No veterancy, because we don't have veterancy in Age of Empires 4. And just an absolute, like... You know, he had so many women around him. He had like a whole harem of women that just followed him. They would shout out, Randy, Randy, shoot your organ at me. Oh God, Randy, what are you doing to me? Not like this, Randy. This is a family-friendly channel. Randy, you keep your organs and you keep your organs away from me, especially any shaped like a gun. Oh God. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Bio is going to absolutely demolish this. Even the Rams getting their fair share of knights in the, I was going to say in the apartment, but I tell you what, this is a bit bigger than an apartment. Man, jeez. It feels good. I tell you what, I enjoy having cursed casts. They're good. I feel like I get to real talk with you guys. It's just, don't be alarmed, it's just the king. It's just the English king. We got a lot of knights here. Now, what's the first thing? Question of the class. What's the first thing Bio should now do that he's killed the blue army? Any takers? Anybody want to know what the answer is? Yes, that's correct. Go and attack blue. That is exactly what you do. And you want to bring a whole bunch of Vils with you. Ideally, I'd probably bring about 10, maybe 15. You want to drop an outpost right outside the base. And in the event that there are walls like this, you then want to drop down a siege workshop and you're going to start making bombards. That's it. That's literally all you're going to do. And you're going to try your best to get around the walls. And if you can't get around the walls, then you've got that option. If you don't, and if you, still got that relic inside. But if you, yeah. If you can't get through them, then, yeah, just drop the stone walls and, or drop the siege workshop. Make yourself a couple bombards. Of course, you can always throw down a keep and stuff like that as well. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is to just begin pushing and make sure you bring Vils. Because at the end of the day, this is not going to kill stone walls. It looks like Yuri is going to be very, very lucky. Because these stone walls are coming up. And there's a good chance when Bio approaches this, he just looks at it and says, okay, you're fully stone-walled in, haven't you? Spears coming to the top side, and hand cannoneers. Now, they're only vet spears, but Yuri could be looking to pick on the upgrade. Let's take a look and see. No upgrade coming through just yet. Just veteran spearmen. Not a whole lot of resources in the bank either. Only 145 Vils, considering he's been on 3 TC and he's got the extra 2 kills here. Randy's turn around. Randy's turn around. Randy's shoot their shot. The organs absolutely gun down all the men and the women today. You know, we're an accepting battle. We'll allow it. We will permit it. Oh, we did bring Vils forward. Look at this. He's got 8 Vils in the pack. Very well done to Bio. He knows what he's doing. Now let's check in the north and check in with Kaiko. Kaiko's got 1 kill at the moment. So if we take a look at him, he's doing all right. He's not doing too bad. 84 Vils. Definitely could be a bit higher. But he does have the 2 TCs. So he is booming. Monastery's coming up as well. Keep in mind, he does have the relic that is outside, as well as the relic that is back here. So it's a lot of passive gold that he's been missing out on. Meanwhile, over towards the east, we do have Vandalin, who still stands strong. Obviously, this nest of bees was a little bit, or this Great Wall Gatehouse was a little bit problematic, but fortunately, Bio came in to save the day. And that's just the consequence of spawning in the middle of the map. Sometimes you get them, and sometimes you get got. That is the classic saying. I think it was Asmongold who coined that one. But we do have the outpost starting to come up right next to the enemy wall. You will expect in quick time there will be a siege workshop drop down in any moment. Kaiko now going to be looking to click that age up at the moment. When it comes to the score lead, it's going to be Yuri's in the lead, currently at 10,889 points. Coming up behind him in second place. In the orange, it's going to be Bio at 9,623 points. Over in the east of the map, currently in third place, Vandalin, 7,392 points. And in the north of the map, last place, but definitely not least, it's going to be Kaiko. 4,778 points. Still under attack. He's actually just going to have to wall in the entirety of his shoreline, which is never something you want to have to do because it is just so damn frustrating. It looks like we could have ourselves a pretty fair like mid-game right here. I'm kind of tempted to say this isn't late game just yet. 30 minutes in to an FFA, not really quite late game just yet, but hear me out. We've got an English player with 1 kill against an English player with 2 kills, and we have a Byzantine player with 1 kill against a Chinese player with no kills. To me, that sounds fair. Like that sounds pretty fair, especially considering the Byzantine player is very far behind. It's, you know, if anything, the Chinese advantage is significant. I'm just going to put it out there. Oh, there are Landsknechte in the army. The problem is that Landsknechte are always this factor where it's like, if they manage to get a good couple hits off, like this whole army is just dead. But these are fully upgraded palace guards, with the exception of melee armor. So he needs to be really careful about how he fights this. He did just hit Imp, by the way. Units are still veteran. He's got no answer to the nest. The bees at the back there. Clock tower as well. He's going to try and get some good hits on these Landsknecht, but he's just absolutely eaten alive by the combination of nested bees together with those elite palace guards that are fully upgraded. Meanwhile, towards the south, oh, we missed it. Randy's just absolutely pile driving every single man, woman, child, and horse in the neighborhood. Have a look at that. You do not want to miss. And Drongo doesn't want to miss it either. That was, I'm sorry. Jeez Louise. We just got to, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, do you really come here to see all the things in between, or do you just come for the... do you just come for the ending? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I tell you what, I'm not, when I'm clicking on those videos, I'm not looking at the early parts. I'm just going to put it out there, right? You skip on through. That's what we did. We skipped through it, and we got to, you know, the money. We got to the money shot. We got to see. It was like, oh, dude. All I'm seeing right now is that like Bio is sitting there like that little blonde girl on the couch, and you got 5 Randys all behind him, dude. Oh Lord, this is a good one. This is a good one. I'm not even drunk. That's the best part, right? Like I haven't been drinking at all. The only thing I'm high on right now is life, and it feels good to be high on life because I've got this. I've got you guys to share that with. King's in the back. He's getting walled in nicely. Keep in mind, if you do have archers that make their way through, they can actually just shoo. I'm pretty sure they can, can't they? Although there needs to be a gate, doesn't there? That's right. I remember I died to that once. I was so close, man. I was so damn close. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. I remember that game. I literally like killed everybody, and there was one guy left, and he killed me with archers. Oh, that was so sad. But it's just one of those things that you learn from, right? Like you learn from your mistakes. And Kaiko gets eliminated. He's not gonna play it out. He says, you know what? I'll take 4th place. It's decent. It's gonna be a long siege on the north side of the map, but he does know where that king is located, and he will get that extra population. Look at the siege coming through right now. This is a game-winning amount of siege. I'm sorry. Like this army is very scary. What do you even do to counter this army? Like hypothetically, what do you do to counter this? Because it's like spear crossbow, but it's just better. You could go mass art. No, mass archer doesn't work. You'd have to go a lot of siege to deal with the enemy siege. That's like a fact. And then a whole bunch of archers, and then mangoes, right? I feel like that's got to be it. So right now, if I'm on the defense, see, but the thing is, I saw all of those Randys. So naturally, I'm going to be like, okay, I need to counter those. How do I counter them? Okay, now I've seen all the Springalds. So, like, there should be, like, 17 siege workshops drop down right now immediately by Bio. See, now, you know what we're coming back to right now? Like, not having a super-duper good economy. We don't really have control of the golds either. I mean, these are only recently available, recently single gold mines. Okay, this isn't terrible. This isn't terrible. Yuri's just walking his army in. He says, hey, remember that time a little bit earlier with Randy? Yeah, well, this one's for you. This is actually fine. This is fine. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that one, though. Looks like that I don't know. Why is he going for the bombards? You were killing the Randys. That was a perfect fight. Like, that was a really good fight. There were all hand and cannoneers here. A whole bunch of Randys he could have just killed. And he just ran into the spears, which is typically not a baller move, not a gamer move. I will say that much. Like, if he may be using a controller. No offense to my controller bros, but he may be using a controller. Look, is that offensive? Is that a slur? I feel like calling someone a controller player is a slur. Oh, this is such a cursed cast. You gotta laugh. If you don't laugh, then I don't know why you're still watching the video, man. Like, come on, we're all having a good laugh here. Give me a sec. I gotta have a drink of my water. I'm drinking the water. I'm drinking my water here. Oh, that's good water. Water's best in slot. You guys know that, right? If we were playing an MMO, and the MMO's called Life, you'd have like a little pouch, and in there you could put a drink that you can carry on you at all times. And water would be BIS. It would be the best in slot. Like, you could have Red Bull and it would give you like +3 stamina. But then like Red Bull is like +40, oh sorry, water is like +46 recovery, +17 stamina. I think that's probably it. Like, recovery and stamina. Just allows you to last longer. It also recovers you. What other drinks would you get? Or, like, what other stats could there be? Int. Wisdom. Agility. Dexterity! Dexterity! Okay, Red Bull would give you dexterity. It wouldn't really. You know what it would give you? Yeah, you saw it coming. Yep, it would give you legs. Because there was a lawsuit. We can't say that. We can't say that anymore! Don't say it. Steven, I told you. Don't say it. We're not allowed to. Yeah, it'll give them wings. It'll wings. Feels so good to say it. I can finally say it. I've been holding it in all my life. Wings. Whew. All right. We're good. Welcome to the end game. 37 minutes in. Typically when the end game begins around this mark, 4 players all in the Imperial Age, 4 players all with a chance to win. This is, did I say 4? 3 players. 3 players. 3 players all with a chance to win, all in the Imperial Age. This is the hardest part of the game because now you have to negotiate with 2 people and tell them why you're not a threat and why one of the other guys is a threat and why you should kill them. So here is Yuri. I'm saying to Vandalin, hey bud, this bio guy, he is absolutely crushing me right now. I don't know what to do. And then Vandalin's gonna say, okay bro, no worries. I'll watch out for him. And he just kind of chills. Meanwhile, you're literally killing him. You're destroying his entire base. It's all mind games, baby. It's all mind games. Because at the end of the day, what matters is not whether we won with honor. What matters is whether we won full stop. Because at the end of the day, I'm not checking the honor roll. I'm not calling it out like, hey, who's got the Medal of Honor here? No, I'm not. Because guess what? We're not doing the roll call if we're dead. So that's why. Look, it might be a bit dishonorable. People might not like it. And that's fair. I respect that. But, look, it's probably a little bit nicer than some of the other ways that I've played in the past. Takes me back, man. There's nothing quite like getting into a late game FFA scenario and just starting to, like, pull out the crazy stuff. Like, you see a single trader and you just declare that Wham is trading and we must stop him. Oh, gosh. I'm reminiscing about Beastie when he had a completed wonder and probably like 15 keeps to defend it, and he spotted a single trader from Wham heading towards the middle neutral post, and he's just spamming in the chat that Wham was trading and that, well, we needed to stop him immediately, despite Beastie having a wonder, that it needed to be stopped immediately. It's always one of those things. So, a great little thing that Yuri's doing at the moment, and you could definitely take this away for your own games, is putting a forward base in. Yuri, by putting this forward base in, it guarantees he's going to have reinforcements a lot sooner than his opponents. And one of the biggest issues you have in FFA is if you go and attack Mr. Orange up here, Bio, all of his units, as they die, get instantly replaced by units that run a very short distance to the battlefield. Whereas your units have to run a really long way after they die, and are then spawned. They have to run a really long way to get to the battlefield. So by putting this forward base down, you reduce that time. You also give your enemy another target that's not your main base. And that always gives you a little bit of time that you can potentially buy for a nice little potential side base. Now, let's take a look and see what our line of sight is looking like for Yuri. This is always a good sign. Whenever I see somebody doing this, I know that A, they're a good player, and B, they're not using map hacks. Because if they have map hacks, they don't need to do this. But if they do have map hacks, well, sorry, if they do have map hacks and they need to do, then, sorry, you guys know what I mean, right? If I can see the map, I don't need to make outposts so that I can see the map. Right. Let's check in on the other guys. Right on board with Vandalin. He's doing the same thing. Another certified gamer over here. And now, finally, we check in with Bio, see how he's doing. Well, to be fair for Bio, it's not like he's really working with much at the moment, right? Like, he's in a bit of a tough spot. We'll give him that. Now, one thing that I haven't seen Bio do is... Oh, you know what? We'll worry about that later. I was gonna talk a little bit about gold. But, I don't know if we're gonna have much time to talk about gold. Meanwhile, inside the base, Bio is under pressure. Mangonel's at the back. It might be the last huge Mango shot we see. Never again will we see such great Mangonel shots. I mean, we might see a couple more in the octagon. But, you know, in the next patch, we're not going to Mangoes move up. Mangoes move up. Mangoes off the top rope. Who needs Randy when you've got Mr. Mangonel? Tell you what, if I've ever seen a Mangonelable army, that is it. So many ranged units in that backside. And now Yuri's looking to push out Bio and take the game. And, you know, this is exactly what Yuri's wants. Yuri's just needs time right now. He just needs to buy some time while he kills Bio. And then once Bio's dead, he's happy to fight against Vandalin. That's the way it works, you see. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, Vandalin does this thing where he shuffles his army around. And we've all been there before. You move it backwards, and then you move it forwards. And you're not sure, but you're not 100% sure. And you're like, yeah, maybe, I don't know, yeah, I don't know. And you just kind of eke it forward. Meanwhile, you're not doing anything. What he should be doing at this moment is having a scout in, ideally, both players' bases. He should know exactly what is going on right now. And if he doesn't know what's going on right now, then it is a bit of a mistake. It's a tactical error. It is a factual error. It is every type of error, which is the worst type of error. You know, like, technical error is obviously bad, but this is bad on every level. Because right now, there could be a player about to be eliminated, and he has no idea. He's just Bing chilling right now. Speaking of Bing chilling, look, I don't want to dox myself right here, but I was driving through a suburb, which I don't live in, and there was a place that was selling ice cream, and they were called Bing Chilling. And I was like, that is a sick name for an ice cream shop. If I was going to have an ice cream shop, I would have wanted it to have been named Bing Chilling. I wish I could say that their icon was John Cena, but it wasn't. Or their logo, but yeah, it wasn't. All right, so now, cat's out of the bag. Let's see how he reacts. Vandalin should now know. He should now know that we are about to have imminent death. And you can see straight away he knows, and he begins to move on it. But the problem is... You know it's just a little too late. He's got a decent number of Nesta Bees here together with the Palace Guards, but there's no real siege here. There's no bombards. We do have a little bit of a hole in the wall developing, though, which can always be dangerous. I tell you what, I remember one FFA game I played where I lost it. I tell you what, these things are like etched into my brain. You know, I can remember every single FFA game that I've played, which I've lost, but I can't remember how to do long division. It's just how the brain works, right? It gets rid of the stuff that you need and puts that stuff in there instead. King goes down. We've now got 2 left in the game, and there is a big advantage going over to Yuri's. That's right on board. 320 population currently, up against 250. Now, Vandalin's got one way to win this. He needs to make a forward base as close as he can to the enemy base, right here, and he needs to just start fighting immediately. And he just needs to keep fighting and non-stop fighting constantly. That's how he wins. How does that make him win, you might be wondering? The enemy needs to spend all of their resources very, very quickly. And ideally what you want to do is burn them out so they get to a point where their army is manageable. You don't want to be fighting them like 350 pop, which is what he's got, against your 250 pop. It's just not going to be cricket. Look, so you got to do everything that you can to try and fight him while it's still a little bit fair. Because we were just at 320, now we're at 330, now we're at 340. They just keep popping out. More and more men-at-arms continue to pop out. Nesta Beast could be the final hope, but he's got them all in the same control group. He's now finally got them into a second control group. So they begin to move a little bit independently. Nesta Beast looking to tee off onto the men-at-arms. Able to find very decent coverage here. Absolutely love it. Very good fight here for Vandalin at this stage of the game. Meanwhile, to the south side, Palace Guards are looking to find a way through. Doing a decent job there. Ooh, I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know about that. It's a lot of units. That is a scary amount of units. We need to fall back, and we need to fall back now. Vandalin, how many vills are we running on? We got to delete some vills. We got to delete some vills because we need to make more army. Our enemy's got a huge army, and we need to make sure that we're keeping up with them. We are definitely not keeping up with them at the moment. This is going to be trouble. Vandalin going to be trying his best. Mangonel shots off towards the bottom side. Nesta B's getting some decent shots onto the hand cannoneers as well. I actually wanted to say the Nesta B's, but just naturally Mangonel comes out. It's, you know, it's just one of those things, you know? You can fight it all you like. You can pretend to be a Nesta B enjoy, but at the end of the day, there's nothing that makes a man go crazy like a man go nil. That's facts right there. That is facts. I got that one from my brother. He was talking about a fax machine the other day. That was the example he gave. Speaking of examples, have a look at this. We got a great example of how to play English in the late game. Beautiful composition. Hand cannoneers at the back. Men-at-arms at the front and a whole bunch of siege behind it. All the different types. We're collecting them at the moment. 3 different types. Hand cannoneers getting a little bit caught up on the outposts. How many sacred sites? I don't even know how many sacred sites we've got. Is it just the one? Surely it's not just the one. Who are you calling Shirley? Actually, we could check it. It's just the one. It's just the one sacred site. He's fighting the game right now. He's losing it, though. Ain't no winning that, my friend. Oh, Nesta Bees! Oh, the Nesta Bees eating the hand cannoneers alive. He's just looking for a reason right now to pick up his plate and put a whole bunch of hand cannoneers on it. Beautiful micro coming out as well from Vandalin here. You can see as he just peppers it down onto those hand cannoneers. Losing the Nesta Bees at the back, though. He's got to be careful. Those enemy springs begin to move up. They've got their roller shutter triggers. They've got their greased axles. They're looking. They're hunting. They're finding. Oh, on 2 HP it lives. Meanwhile, look at this. Palace Guards just cleaning up. This is exactly what you want right now if you're playing from Yuri's perspective. This is huge because this is a lot of resources that the enemy's losing. It's a lot of time that they're going to need to get or to invest to rebuild this. Not to mention, you're going to have to walk it all the way back to the front of the army or the front, just in general. So really well played. Look at the numbers starting to come out, though. It looks like Elite Longbowman is through here. They've been fully upgraded. Nesta Bees now looking to push up. A couple shots going to be taken off. Nesta Bees, decent once again. Beautiful coverage here. And Vandalin's starting to look a little bit scary. He's going to overtake his opponent on the score. We may have a bit of an upset on our hands. Numbers are decent. Production is quality. How's Yuri's doing? He's down to 255. This is exactly what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying. This is what you want to do. This is what you got to do. Needs to be putting... Yep, there we go. Excuse me. Needs to be putting a lot of men-at-arms in the queue. Looks like he's going to be attempting to take the sacred site again. Nesta Bees continuing to fire off on the back. We hear those longbows with their bowstrings. Going to be firing down even faster. Is he going to try and get a snipe off here? What's the go with moving up the longbows? I'm sure we'll find out shortly. Where are the Nesta Bees going? They are a little bit confused as well. He's going to continue pumping more and more units. Keep now needs to make sure he gets those cannon emplacements in. We do start to see them on the way. He's managed to pick up the extra materials as well. A little bit of extra healing for your walls. Why not? Don't mind if I do. And the Nesta Bees just doing God's work right now. I got questions, though. Where are those Chinese landmarks? Ideally, I'd like to see a Great Wall Gatehouse somewhere around here. Looks like he's just put it passively at the back here. So I think he might be in the Ming Dynasty. No, he's in Yuan Dynasty, so he gets the movement speed. I feel like in FFA, Ming is just better. Yuan is great, but then Ming just becomes the boss. Because you get into these situations and it's like, the extra health is just, you know, you can't go past it. A little bit of a waste at the back here. Hand cannoneers just going to absolutely decimate through those Palace Guards. Looks like the Springle number is starting to rise again here for Yuri's. You can see he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 at the back here. He's looking to try and find a pick. Nest of bees continuing to just... Oh my god. How beautiful are these nest of bees when they get shots off like this? This is why I think like China might actually still be really, really good in the next patch. Just because the nest of bees, like who cares if they're 7 range? Like of course it's going to be less range. But like at the end of the day, man, like you're still getting those kind of shots off. Like damn girl. Economy's looking pretty decent. Walls all the way across. You could go for something a little bit cheeky if you wanted to. And oh, you could actually... You'd need to do like 10 bombards. See, I'd be thinking about this right now. You'd have to be going like 10 bombards into a transport ship, maybe. That's the way that you get around it. 10 bombards and like 5 knights would be enough. But I would be realizing at this point, like, it doesn't look that good here for Vandalin. He's going to lose the Sacred Site. I don't think there's any way he holds this Sacred Site. Not with the amount of siege that is currently in possession of Yuri's. But it's at this stage where you got to start asking that question, where is my win condition? How do I win this game? If we take a look... Oh, I don't think he can get through here. Oh, no. Oh, we could come down here and then drop another dock and then transport through. I wouldn't say that's, you know, not on the table. I want to see, does he know? Doesn't know. Yeah, see, he's not even thinking about it. He's just thinking about doing the heads-up play at the moment, which is fine. You can go for the heads-up, but how many times have we won because we were dirty little rats? You know, playing a little bit of rat Dota. Exact same thing. All right, well, Vandalin's going to look to push back his opponent once again. Economy's just... Hold on a minute. Where are all the farms? Oh, he doesn't need farms because he's got fishing boats. In fact, both of them have got fishing boats. Not a whole lot. Actually, I take it back. Did Yuri's never go fishing? He surely did. He must have deleted them. Because they are 100% less efficient at this stage of the game than villagers. Villagers are just the king of efficiency at the late game. Alright, well. Normally, men-at-arms absolutely destroy the Palace Guard, but Vandalin's done very well here to make sure that the Palace Guard is achieving. You know, you'd have to say it's outstanding at this stage of the game. I'd love to see him start pushing through different areas, though. You know, starting to get annoying. Doing those little beastie strategies, beastie tactics. Where you're not fighting head-on and... Oh, my lord, look at those nest of bees. About to get crushed in the middle. Caught out of position. The men-at-arms are so slow, dude, that the nest of bees are pretty much outrunning. In fact, they are outrunning them. 0.93. Against what? Against 1.12. Yep. Look at the nest of bees. Oh my lord, you can't actually kill them. You can't. It's illegal and it's impossible. Don't even try it. Dude, this is a sick fight, man. I'm not gonna lie. These guys, I came into this thinking, okay, Yuri's is so far ahead, but Vandalin's done a great job to actually hold this long. The problem is, if we think about the economies, 145 for Vandalin, Yuri's on 157, so it's still pretty even, actually. There's not a big difference between them. And as long as you keep trading out units like this, you're going to be okay. The trouble is, Yuri's still got a lot of resources in the bank, a lot of production, and he's beginning to move that up. Like, this right here is the game-winning move. It's that extra production that is so close. I think here, he can just spam Hand Cannoneer, Men-at-Arms, and, like, Springalds. Because he's got all the upgrades on the Springalds, he's just able to deal with the siege perfectly. Sacred Site's still being stood on, by the way. We're still holding out for a hero. It's probably the first time the Sacred Tracker has actually been useful, by the way. All right. Numbers still building here. Yuri's up 3k. Up to 330 population. Nest of Bees still firing off. A keep now going to be put on the front, and the Sacred Site gets neutralized. And with that, you can't help but feel like Yuri is pushing back Vandalin. He's running out of resources, down to 210. He's got 40 Palace Guards in queue, but he's struggling with that food. Majority of the Nest of Bees have gone down. A couple Springalds now going to be coming out as well. He's got the roller shutter triggers through for them. You can see just how many Palace Guards are trying to stream through and defend the line. Vandalin holding on. More Palace Guards, or rather more Men-at-Arms coming in from the rear. So many units just streaming across this map, and it looks like He's definitely going to be able to hold this position. The question now is, how much siege does he have behind it? You really want to be looking to build up the siege. And at this point, Vandalin, I mean, he's about to drop below 200 population. He's only got 66 military left. And that's going to be it. He taps out. It's going to be a Yuri's victory. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you've enjoyed this FFA. The return of the FFA is upon us. Thank you very much for watching. And make sure you keep an eye out for those games. I mentioned we're going to have Red Bull Wallalol games, but of course, we're also going to be having a couple of Octagon games. Maybe one or two here and there.